thumbs up. Perfect. Then welcome everybody to this very exciting meeting that we're going to have today. We have a very big announcement to make, and I've been waiting so long to finally be here at this point where we can make this announcement, because we've been working really, really hard on everything that we're going to announce today, and I'm excited the day is finally here. I feel, as always, like probably the majority of you know me if you're here, but I'll always like to introduce myself in case some of you might not know me. My name is Zulvay Barrios. I'm the daughter of Carlos Barrios, one of the most renowned Maya elders in Guatemala, as well as in the world. My dad is also the author of the Book of Destiny. He was part of the Council of Elders in Guatemala, and he and I are both the co-founders of the Mayan Wisdom Project. My dad, well, unfortunately, he left us 6 years ago. But after his passing, I decided to continue with this project in order to honor his memory as well as his legacy. And since then, we have partnered up with Maya spiritual leaders around the entire country to continue to provide you with really amazing programs. And we're continuing to do really amazing projects, both because I'm super passionate about it, but also because my mission in life is to honor the work that my dad used to do in his life. So our projects are both to collaborate with small producers, where we open up the doors to the world for them to not only be able to produce their artisanal handmade products, but we help them to export them all over the world so that everybody here can get access to them. But thanks to that, we have lifted up a lot of those small indigenous family-owned productions, as well as we have different kinds of programs where we work with those teachers who are incredibly wise teachers who come from long lines of healers, as well as Maya spiritual leaders, experts of cacao, all kinds of people in the Maya tradition that devoted their entire life to preserving this tradition. And so that is a little bit of what we do. So again, my name is Zulvay Barrios, and I'm the co-founder of the Mayan Wisdom Project. It's so nice to have you guys here today. As I said, I'm extremely excited to be able to announce something really special that we've been working on for so long. Okay, at this point, I don't know if you guys have noticed, okay, but throughout the last half of 2025, so the end of the year, as well as now the beginning of 2026, which is kind of crazy that we're already in 2026. But anyways, now at the beginning of 2026, for the last like half a year or a little bit longer, we started launching a lot of new things that we have never done before. And the reason for that is, for the last 6 years since we started this project, we've been listening to everything that you guys want. And I kind of unblocked my mind a little bit, in the sense that a lot of the things that you guys were asking for were really difficult to pull off, honestly. So every time people ask me about like certain things that, like, can we go to Guatemala, or can we meet the spiritual leaders? In my mind, I was like, well, literally hundreds of people are asking that question. So the answer has to be no, of course, because how could I ever possibly arrange for hundreds of people to be able to all do that, you know? So I was like, that's impossible, not an option. So unfortunately, no, you know? But a few months ago, I decided to kind of start opening that door a little bit. So I don't know if you guys remember, some of you who are a little bit older in our community and have been with us for a little bit longer, that I decided to open up this space for me personally doing some Mayan chart readings, which, if you don't know what that is a private session. My dad is the one who trained me on how to do these, where we look at your specific Mayan energy. And for like 1.5 to 2 hours, I was meeting with a very small group of people and doing their entire Mayan chart reading. And it was so amazing for me. And the reason it was so amazing for me, I mean, I know that the people who got the readings also really liked them, because I got really positive feedback from them. But for me, it was so amazing because, for me, it was like opening up the door to do something that I personally really love to do. It also unlocked for me like some of the gifts that, were a little bit dormant, and that my dad taught me how to work on. And I got so excited doing these readings. Every single time I had a reading, I was looking so forward to it, not knowing what's going to happen during the reading. And then all of these incredible things happen, not because of me, but because of the techniques, you know, that my dad taught me on how to do these readings. And so I was like, whoa, you know, I was like, this is so much fun. This is amazing. And also, some of the people who went through the readings then got back to me and told me like, oh my gosh, this was so helpful for me and for my life. Like I got emails afterwards of people telling me they were able to create this big shift in their life thanks to that. And I was like, yeah, I just remembered this is why I actually do what I do. Like this is why my dad and I created the Mind Wisdom Project, because it's so much powerful to be able to work with people one-on-one in that way. And then I thought like, I want to keep going. I want to do more of this. But then I had this blockage in my own mind where I was like, this is just not possible. Like, how can we keep going? How can we do this in a way deeper level? Even though I know that that's exactly what people have been asking for literally for many, many years. That's what everybody has been asking us for. So I just was literally sitting right there, like a few meters away from here, having a coffee, not a cacao coffee, sorry. But yeah, I was having a coffee. And then all of a sudden, bing, I just had this amazing idea because I was talking to my mom on the phone and I was telling her like, oh my gosh, these readings were so amazing. They were so life-changing. Well, hopefully also for the people who went through them, but also for me, like just being able to communicate with you guys, like to sit one-on-one with people who've been doing our programs for years, who've been learning about Mayan wisdom, getting your feedback, talking about your journeys. I was so impressed because obviously I know that our programs are really great. Obviously, I know that everything we do is so good, but to get to sit with people one-on-one, to talk to them for 2 hours and for them to tell me the impact that this has had in their life, it touched me in a level that was completely new for me because I heard all of you say it simultaneously, but I never heard it like one-on-one with specific examples of people telling me this is what happened to me thanks to all the things that I learned from the teachers. This is how my life changed. And I was so emotional and happy and proud as well of everything that we've done. Because of course, we've always tried our very best to create our programs in a way that are super useful, even though it was a challenge for us, especially in the first years, coming up with in which format can we work with people online, because Maya Wisdom was never online, you know, so it was challenging. But I feel like we really pulled off to create a really good format for all of these programs to become a reality and to really be helpful and to really be useful. And then I was talking to my mom and I was telling her, I was just telling her, like, I know if I could bring like one of these people that I talk to Guatemala, for example, and I could just work with them for months, not only I, but like I could bring them to Tata Alberto. I could bring them to Raquel and her mom, the healers, the healers who are like curanderas and herbalists who work on such a deep level. And I could just like take a person and for months just work with that person and just like do everything, not just one session, not just one reading, not just one ceremony or something, but do everything that the Maya tradition and the healers of the Maya tradition practice in order to make a person whole. I feel like that would be the most impactful thing that I could do for a person in my life, you know? And then I was telling my mom, but I have no idea, like, how could I actually turn this into something real? Like, how could I format this in a way that it could work? And so then I brought it up with my team. I started talking to different people, trying to come up with the idea. And at first I was like, this is going to be logistically impossible. Like, this is just very, very difficult. How can we do it? But after several weeks of thinking about it, I finally feel like I had that light bulb moment where I was like, I know how to create that program after receiving the feedback from my team, after receiving feedback from different people, after brainstorming for a long time. We finally came up with the idea. And every day for the last month, I've been working like crazy nonstop. I had to jump on several calls with the healers to ask them if they'd be willing to take on a person. to be able to do this kind of work, but for several months. And obviously, I mean, it's like not a secret what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you in a second how we're gonna do it. But we wanted to open up the doors for people to do that work, but I wanted it to be actually impactful. So I told Anne, who's here, one of our team members, like, we could just open up the door to like a private session with a spiritual leader and open as many as we possibly can without burning out ourselves, because it's like a lot of work. But I told her, like, yes, like if each person receives like one ceremony, or if each person receives a Mayan chart reading, or if each person sits down with Raquel to talk to her about their health and she gives them advice, every single one of those things individually will be very impactful. But I told Anne, like, it's just one session. Like, it's like going to one therapy session versus going to therapy for a year. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously not going to be the same thing. Like in that one session, people, because of how deep Mayan wisdom is, will get big epiphanies, of course. They will have an energetic shift. Like a lot of really awesome things will happen in just that one session. But then it's like, that's it. We leave the person and move on to the next person. And I feel like, even though that's beautiful enough, I told her, is not what I want to actually do. I told her, if we're going to spend all of this time and energy, if I'm gonna have to travel basically every day to Tata Alberto's house, you know, because he doesn't have a like Zoom, so I'll have to go there in person, you know. I was like, I don't want it to be like only a little impactful. If we're gonna make that effort, I want it to be like truly impactful. Like, how can we change a person's life? And for years, I've been asking myself that question, because I know that with Mayan wisdom, you can do that, because I've experienced it myself, and people who actually have access to these teachers themselves, you know, like my sister or my niece or my family members or friends I know who have also grown up like I grew up, they'll all be able to tell you, like, this stuff changes your life completely, but it's not a one-time thing. And so I thought, instead of opening up one session per person to several people, how about we actually turn it into kind of like a program that lasts several months. And it's, of course, for a more limited group of people. You guys know that I would love to offer it to 200 people. And I know that 100% for sure 200 people would sign up, but that's just impossible for us, because there are so many hours in the day only. And there's like also a lot of hard work, and logistically it's very, very difficult. So I was like, okay, realistically, how many people could we offer this to? And then, of course, I came up with 13. If you know the Cholki, it's for obvious reasons. Why 13 people? Because at first I thought 10. And then I was like, no, let's make it a sacred Mayan number. Let's actually make it 13. And then I was inspired by the whole 13 concept. So we decided to turn it into a 20-week program. So it's, I don't know if you get it, but it's like 20 weeks, 13 people. You get what I'm saying? So basically, 20 weeks is basically 5 months, right? And so I thought that I can be 100% sure that for 5 months, if we work with people directly, weekly, several times per week, that is actually going to be life-changing for real. Like, I can put my hands down. No, you can't say this in English. Like, pongo mis manos al fuego. Like, I'm 100% sure. Okay, that's my point. I don't know how to say that in English, but I was like, I'm 100% sure at that point that every single person who participates in this will actually receive a 100% life transformation, like a complete shift in every way. And I was like, okay, what would the focus of the program be? Will it just be like spiritual? Will we just do like energetic cleansings and Maya ceremonies? Will it be with like Raquel, and will we just work on our health, like physical health and all of that, and so on? And then as we started formatting the entire program, we realized it's about doing everything that Mayan wisdom involves. So it's all about wholeness. So actually we decided to call the program The Path to Wholeness, a 20-week healing experience. That's the name of this new program, A Path to Wholeness, a 20-week healing experience. Because what we're going to do is we're going to work specifically on every area. So it's going to be like your physical health fully, like your mental health, your psychological health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your material health, like every aspect of you. And I thought 20 weeks is perfect because those of you who have joined me in the 20-day cacao challenge maybe have heard that 20 is the energies that make you whole, like a Hun Winak, to be a whole human being is to be at 20, literally. And so I thought 20 weeks is kind of like so beautiful to do that. And it's 5 months, right? At the end of the day, the program is actually not going to be 5 months. It's going to be more like 6 months. And the reason for that is because we're going to do like really hard, deep work for like, for example, the first part of the program is like 4 weeks, and then we'll take a 1 week break because it's a lot. So like we're going to give you breaks in between. So then the 5 months will actually turn into 6 months approximately, with all of the break weeks where everybody can just get to rest a little bit because and integrate everything that you've been experiencing, because you're going to experience all kinds of things. Like, just to give you a little bit of an example, right? I'll just tell you like what the first few weeks look like, just the first few weeks, because it's like basically 20 weeks, which are actually going to be more like 24 weeks. But anyways, I'll just give you an example. So like at the first week of this program, wait, let me find it. I lost it. I have it all written down here. Ah, here it is. At the first week of this program, the first thing that we're going to be doing during the program is like, we're going to obviously kick it off with, of course, a Maya fire ceremony for the group, right? So to already give you some context, this is going to be 38 sessions that we're going to be doing together. Okay, it's 20 weeks and 38 sessions that we're going to all be going through together. And during those 38 sessions, we formatted the sessions in different ways. So like one of the ways is private sessions. So it's going to be you personally, one-on-one with the spiritual leader or with the Maya healer, like just you and them working on different things depending on the different people, right? Like it's going to be 13 people, but it's going to be completely different 13 paths for sure, because different people are going through different experiences, obviously, and we're going to make it a very individualized program. So it's going to be private sessions, you one-on-one with the spiritual leader or with the healer. The other format is going to be group sessions for all 13, also with the spiritual leader and with the healer. So like there's going to be several sessions where we thought, instead of saying the same thing 13 times, we're just going to create a circle where the healers and the spiritual leaders are going to be talking about the general things regarding healing yourself in all of the different aspects, the different exercises and practices that one can do, you know? So there's going to be like group sessions. And also the reason we did this is because, you know how in the Mayan world, and I've talked about this so much, community is super important and healing is like never individual. So we thought like we could turn the 13 people almost into like accountability buddies and a support group for each other and into a community that works on this together. And then the third format that we're going to work with is group sessions without the spiritual leader, but just with the 13 people who can share everything that they've been experiencing and their transformations, their epiphanies, their reflections with each other. And I will be moderating those sessions. And so basically it's 3 kinds of sessions, like private sessions, one-on-one, you and the healers, group sessions with the group and the healers, which obviously are going to be not like the public ones that we do, but they're going to be way more specific for the group. And also, of course, these sessions, you get to interact with the spiritual leaders and healers as well. Even though it's a group session, we'll have an entire section of the session that is for the entire group to sit in a circle with the healers, ask questions, share their thoughts, their reflections and everything. And then the support group sessions is what we call them, which is all 13 people getting together and talking about everything that they've been experiencing. So we're going to start, of course, with a fire ceremony. And of course, we're also going to finish the program with a fire ceremony. That's obvious. That's the way it's supposed to be. We have to first ask for permission, do the invocation, present every single one of the 13 participants in front of the fire, right? And something really fun and really cool about the last fire ceremony of the program after we've completed the program is that you have 2 options for that fire ceremony. That's going to be a group fire ceremony for the last one, okay? which is we're going to do it in a sacred ancient Maya site here in Guatemala, and you will be able to participate either virtually or in person. So if somebody wants to come to Guatemala for the weekend for that last session, we're going to arrange transportation from Antigua to the ancient site. Antigua is like where I live, basically. It's 1 hour away from the airport, so easy access. And we're going to arrange private transportation for anybody who wants to come in person, and anybody who wants to do it virtually, no problem. You can also do it virtually. So just to give you an idea of how it looks like, right? Like the first week is introduction plus fire ceremony plus group session. So in the first session, we're going to do an introduction with a fire ceremony, and then we're going to do our first support group session after that, where all of you are going to be able to meet with the group, get to meet each other, like the 13 people, etc. And do reflections on the fire ceremony, share with each other why you're here and why you're doing this program. Of course, in the support group sessions, you can talk as much as you want, or you can just sit in and listen. You don't have to share everything as well. It's just for you to have a community. On like week 2 of the program, you're going to have your first private session plus a group session. Your first private session is actually going to be with me. And the reason for that is I want to take a really deep dive into your Mayan chart. This is regardless of whether you got a Mayan chart reading already or not, because it's not going to be exactly a Mayan chart reading. It's going to be, I want to meet you and 100% understand why you're here, what you're working on, and then explore together with you through your Mayan chart what's going to work best for you. Also, find aspects of your Mayan chart that you might not be aware of that are the things that are actually creating maybe some of your blockages or some of your problems. And that way, I'm going to be able to guide you better on like which steps to take next when you're working with the healers and leaders, because there's different things that you can do with them, you know, so different people will be working on different things. Then also it's going to be a support group session where everybody gets to talk about together what they discovered from their Mayan chart. On week 3, there's going to be a group session with a healer. So we're going to bring a Maya healer. She's amazing, who will share with us what does it really take to do the work of healing ourselves physically and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And she's going to talk about how healing works in Mayan wisdom, plus obviously a Q&A section and a group conversation with the healer, where all of you are going to be able to talk to her and ask her questions. She's already going to start to know all of you. Plus this week also, we have a support group session for everybody to go deeper into the reflections of everything we learned. Then on week 4, we have the private session. So you're going to have a 1.5 to 2 hours private session with the Maya healer, the one who did the previous week group session, where she's going to interview you on where you're at health-wise. But what's so beautiful about this is that she'll dig really deep into your diagnosis. And for the Maya, diagnosis doesn't mean telling you, oh, you have intestine issues or you have stomach issues. It means really she's going to assess where you're at physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and in every way. She'll dig into your past and she'll help you figure out how all of these aspects are interconnecting with each other, like any fears or traumas or things you're carrying from your past, how they might be affecting your physical health, your mental health. Like she'll look at you holistically and do a diagnosis, and then she'll help you carve a path to heal from the inside out holistically. Plus a support group session. Then the next week is a break. So we rest for 1 week and then we come back to it. Then the week we come back to it, which is officially week 5, like at this point it's been 6 weeks, but we're counting the next week as week 5 because we took a 1 week break. You're going to have a group session again with the spiritual leader. It's going to be a Maya ceremony focused on healing your ancestors, because we're also going to do that kind of work. So he's going to, like, we're going to give you some homework to do some research on your family lineage. And the spiritual leader is going to be working on a ceremony to heal like any ancestral stuff that you may be carrying energetically. Then the support group session. Then the next week is another private session with you and the spiritual leader now at this point, where he's going to look at you as an advisory type session, where he's going to look at you more from the perspective as a spiritual leader and help you, plus a support group session. Then on week 7, we're going to do a super deep exercise that my dad loved to give patients because it was so healing for people, plus a group session, and so on. So the first 7 weeks are kind of already carved, and this is the reason I'm presenting them to you right now really quickly, because I don't want to make a 2-hour session right now, but I just really quickly gave you that overview. And the reason for that is that, of course, the first 7 weeks we pre-planned because we knew this is kind of like the beginning for everybody. We're going to like do the diagnosis, look at your Mayan chart, look at your health, like your physical health, like your body, look at every aspect of you holistically, already start figuring out if there's something ancestrally happening, like from your family lineage, you know, which is super important in the Maya tradition, like what patterns are you inheriting from your family? So this is the general stuff that everybody needs to start with in general in the Mayan world. It's like the basics, let's say. But at this point, and when you visit the website, which we'll publish in 1 second, the link to the website, you'll see that after week 7, it stops. What do I mean it stops? After week 7, each path will become so super individual. So some people, like person A, might need to work a lot more with the spiritual leader versus person B might need to work a lot more with the herbalist and healer. And so we're not going to pre-plan your sessions for you because obviously we want it to really work, of course. So then at that point on, we're going to make each path individual. Someone, the healer might tell them, I'm going to need to see you like 3 times in the next 3 weeks, you know, and someone might just see the healer 2 times this month. Someone might see the healer 3 times and someone might see him 1 time, you know, like depending on the path. So it becomes a very individual path at this point. At the end of the day, you're all going to have the same amount of sessions, but the way in which they're going to be arranged is going to be different for everybody, which makes sense. And then I decided to also do something specific, which is even though we have group sessions, you know, with the spiritual leaders and healers as well, I decided not to pre-plan them. And the reason for that is I thought, since the group is going to be meeting literally weekly, the support group, trust me, with the work that we've been doing at the Mind Wisdom Project, we also realize it's not only individuals, but the group also has a vibe, you know, and it, like, topics do pop up, you know, where everybody's going through maybe like a specific thing that they really need to overcome, or they really want to learn more about this specific thing. And I didn't want to set it in stone immediately. I wanted to talk to the group and make this program super interactive, where we can almost choose together what we want the healers to teach us more about. Of course, as a moderator, I'll be telling you, because you don't know all the practices, like here's what the path can look like, but let's also choose together what areas we want to go deeper into as a group as well. So we wanted to make it after week 7, like super interactive, super personalized for both you individually as well as for the group. So that's why we didn't write down on the website like specifications and what the next group sessions or private sessions are going to look like, because some of you might only work with Raquel at some point and never see Tata Alberto again. Some of you might only work with Tata Alberto at some point and never see Raquel again. Some of you might work with both of them. It's going to be very different for everybody. And the other thing is, for me, it's so important to have a really good group. So even if you want to join the program right now, there's an application process, because we want to make a really great group of 13 people. Like, we don't want just like anybody to just be able to come in and join immediately, but we want to really have a very balanced group of people going through these different aspects who we feel is going to like match really well to really master that community aspect of it, you know, to really like handpick who we think is going to be a really great participant for the community aspect of the entire program. So now I'm going to present to you a little bit of what the program actually is going to work like. Anne, let's start the slideshow. I couldn't memorize all of this, so I wrote it down because yeah, I needed the slideshow. So let's give her a second so she can full screen it. Okay, so this is it. We're introducing the Path to Wholeness, a 20-week healing experience. You can move on to the next slide. Okay, so to meet your teachers, okay, we decided that we were like, okay, we can work with several teachers, but instead of doing that, we decided to work with Raquel and with Tata Alberto because they will cover everything. We handpicked them as the perfect healer for this. Are next level crazy when it comes to being hands down some of the best healers I've met in my entire life. And trust me, I have met a lot of spiritual leaders. I have met a lot of herbalists. I have met a lot of healers, and I can hands down say these are the best two people I've ever met. And I wanted to give you access to their wisdom and to their knowledge as you're working with them. So Raquel, who's also going to receive throughout the program help and advice from her mom for your case, who's, this cute old lady who's a herbalist. She comes from a long line of curanderas and healers. Her dad was a healer. Her mom is a healer. Her aunt was a healer. Her grandma was a healer. She doesn't even know how far back it goes in her family tree. It's just been inherited from generation to generation. So she grew up learning this wisdom, and she specially works with plant medicines. And so she works with herbalism, she works with healing herbs, but she's also trained on how to look at people, not just physically, but psychologically. And you guys, I cannot express enough. I've been in sessions with her where I've been translating for her. And you go and you're like, oh, my problem is I have this physical problem. Like I have this colon issue or urinary tract issues, or I have like thyroid issues. People go in there thinking she'll just give you some herbs. You have no idea. 2 hours later, you're crying your heart out, having so much clarity because she identifies exactly where your problem is coming from in a holistic way. And she gives you advice as well about how to heal from trauma, from fear, from all of the difficult things you've gone through in your life. But like, I cannot express enough to which level, okay? Like you have no idea to which level this woman is able to change lives with her advice. Like I've never met someone with that power, really, never. She's crazy. She's amazing. It's crazy. Like I don't know how to express this. You would have to live through it. Anyways, that's Raquel, and Tata Alberto is a Maya spiritual leader with several decades of experience as a spiritual leader. He also specializes in herbalism as well as in one of his favorite topics. He also specializes in the power of your own mind and how to heal yourself with the power of your own mind. So he has all the spiritual aspect down really deeply, right? And so these two are going to be, you don't even understand, okay? Like together, they're going to just work on you in ways that you can't even imagine, like energetically, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Anna, you can go to the next slide. And that's me. As you can see, I just put myself in the presentation as well, because as you know, the first session will be with me so I can assess everything, and I will be with you in every session, okay? We'll have a file for every person, and we're gonna have like your case very down. So I will personally communicate even in between sessions with the spiritual leaders about your case. We're going to discuss with all three of us are going to discuss what are the best next steps for you. We're going to give you suggestions on guiding you in everything. So I'll be moderating every session as well as the support group sessions. Of course, as always, I will be the translator from Spanish to English. So I'll also be with you in every single one of your sessions, translating from Spanish to English. And this will help me because even though you're seeing different people, you'll always have me as your constant one person who knows your case perfectly and can communicate with the spiritual leaders, about your case so that we can always take the perfect steps, like the perfect next steps for you. Go to the next thing, Ian. Gracias. Okay. So, all right. So this is just a little bit of a summary because I didn't have a lot of space for the text here, but just to get the gist of it. All right. It's going to start on March 29th. Okay. And it's going to end on the weekend of September the 6th. Basically, as you know, it's like around 6 months. So it's like 5 months total of work with a few weeks here and there in between for a break when we feel like the group needs like to rest and integrate a little. Even on those week breaks, though, we are preparing some little exercises for you to do daily. If you feel like it, some mini meditations you can keep following daily that will help you integrate and rest. during the break weeks, but the program is 20 weeks total, okay? The break weeks are obviously not included into the program. It's not like some of the weeks are considered break weeks. It's actually going to be more like 24, 25 weeks, thanks to the breaks, but the actual program is 20-week totals, which is 5 months total. So you're going to have one-on-one sessions with the Maya healers. You're going to have access to the recordings of the group sessions. Of course, if you want to record your private sessions, you can, okay? But I didn't write it down here because some people want to, some people don't. So we're definitely going to record the group sessions with the Maya healers and spiritual leaders. The support group sessions, we thought long and hard about it, and we decided we're not going to record them. Why? I don't think you want us to record them, to be honest with you, because it's the time where the group to open up their heart, to share very personal things, to share very vulnerable things with each other. And we didn't think everybody in the group would be comfortable with a recording of that being later uploaded to the community, even if it's just for the 13 people. We thought it's going to be easier for you to open up and be vulnerable if you know it's just like in the moment, right? And not you being recorded and then being uploaded to the community later on. So those are the only things like where we decided consciously not to record that. True and authentic healing teachings from wisdom keepers delivered in group sessions plus Q&A section, which is what I just explained. We're also going to have the group sessions as well. A community of other participants that will become an accountability / support group for you. Is like the community aspect of it is so important for us. It's also going to be, of course, we're going to send you a kit to your house, including cacao, including also other spiritual tools that are handmade by all of the Mayan producers and collectives we work with in Guatemala. So candles and different little things like that that we thought are going to be just very useful for you in your journey as you're doing your ceremonies. The cacao is also medicinal. Okay. The other thing that it includes, and I'm jumping here because I just mentioned the kit is personalized. Okay, this one's really important. Personalized herbal medicine for you, made by hand from our herbalist and her mom. Hear me? You all froze for me, so I just want to make sure. Can you give me a thumbs up? Yeah, okay, thank you. So not only at your physical health, but these herbalists, if they see somebody has anxiety, if they have depression, if they have issues with their nervous system, or if they have actual physical issues, right? Like illnesses or whatever, then we're gonna make medicine that's gonna be handcrafted, not like the one you can find currently in our Mayan market, which is our online shop. Is gonna be medicine that's handcrafted specifically for you. So any remedies that you need, that the healer thinks you might need to heal yourself physically, like we're gonna handcraft them for you specifically, and we're gonna send them to your home wherever it is that you live. We're gonna ship them to you. So you're gonna be able to, if the healers determine that you need any treatments with herbs and that kind of thing, that we're gonna send you those treatments, and they're included in the program, those treatments as well with herbal medicine. And you don't understand how well their herbal medicine works. I'm just gonna say that, okay? It's a game changer. It's a physical tool that's gonna support you so much. You have no idea, okay? At the end of it all, as I said, it's gonna be 38 total sessions, which are gonna be split between something's gonna happen weekly. By the way, it's at least 2 times per week that we're doing something, okay? Some weeks are going to be like group sessions plus support group sessions. Some are going to be private sessions plus support group sessions, etc. Like every week, at least 2 things are going to happen. So they're going to be divided into weekly, okay? Either group sessions, private sessions, or both, all right? We're also going to give you a certificate. It doesn't certify that you have the right to be a healer or anything like that, because this is not a program for learning, but just, you know, we thought it would be cool for you to have the certificate at your house when you finish the program as a reminder to be proud of yourself that you actually went through all this and did this. So we're just going to send you an official Mayan Wisdom Project certificate saying you did go through all the program, all 5 months of the program. Personalized support from our team, which is going to be super super specific, way deeper than usual. You're going to be assigned to a moderator once you join this program. And that moderator is going to be now your moderator for the entire program. And you will have permanent access to that moderator. So that moderator, if in between the sessions you have questions for the spiritual leaders, she, like your moderator, will contact the spiritual leaders to clarify your questions. If you're doing a treatment and you have questions about your treatment, the spiritual leader will the moderator will contact the herbalist to ask about your treatment. Like, it's going to be very, very permanent, individualized attention. And then, of course, we're going to give you extra tools. There's going to be like a lot of exercises we're going to share with you that we think are going to be very beneficial for you. We'll share them through little videos or PDFs. We're going to send you, as I said, some meditations that you can do on your breaks that you have weekly, so that you, if you don't want to stop fully, you still have something that you can do to continue integrating and working on this. A glossary, we always try to include glossaries for all the Mayan words that are spoken during sessions and everything. And more, right? Like all these extra things. Of course, you'll have access to a private premium section as well in our community. Some of you are familiar with our community, where everything is going to be hosted there, including, you know, a chat for everybody in the group of 13 people to be able to chat with each other, etc. Anne, si quieres, puedes irte a la siguiente. Gracias. Okay, so this is just the summary again, just so you have it super clear what's included. So now broken down a lot better. So it's 8 private sessions between 1.5 and 2 hours each with the spiritual leaders and healers, is 10 live group sessions with the spiritual leaders and healers, plus the recordings of the sessions, as I mentioned. Also 1.5 to 2 hours each, where we're going to be talking about like things that are going to be really transformative and healing for you, but in the community setting. Then the 20 live support group sessions that we do, also 1.5 to 2 hours each, which is like our little support group of all 13 people. It's going to be the official Mayan Wisdom Project certificate, the personalized support from our team, including the moderator you will get when you join the program, the herbal medicine that's going to be sent to your home that's handcrafted specifically for your case. Everybody's going to bring different herbal medicine. We said valued at more than $300. And the reason for that is some people might need more, some people might need less. Regardless of how much you need, we're going to send it all to you. But in average, we thought probably this is how much it's going to cost us. And then the spiritual kit, which will include 2 pounds of ceremonial cacao, which is 1 pound of lanquin and 1 pound of cabon, because both are amazing. So we can never choose which one to send you. So we decided to send 2 pounds and send you 1 pound of each. Is also it's going to be a hand woven Mayan altar wheel, so that you can have at your home if you want to make a little altar at your home for your spiritual practices. The traditional Maya candles that spiritual leaders use for spiritual practices and ceremonies. An obsidian arrowhead, okay, which we're going to teach you how to properly cleanse and use, because it's a heavy thing to have if you don't know how to use it, but we're going to teach you how to properly use it. A necklace with your Mayan energy made out of jade, which we thought would be really cool. Everybody loves that. So it's just cute and nice. Also, as I said, access to the premium section of the community with all the recordings, all the PDFs, all the meditations, the extra resources, a group chat, a feed, a space for asking questions you will have access to. And of course, super individual attention from our team, your own moderator, as I said. Extra tools, it's general, it's like everything I said, the PDFs, imitations, glossaries, bonuses, exercises, and more. So you might be wondering what's the price, of course. So we're gonna reveal the price now, Anne, if you want to. Okay, so as you guys know, this is obviously a program that's going to last 5 months, is going to involve a lot of people working. And as you know, like, we pay our spiritual leaders really well, especially if they're going to be doing one-on-one work, because trust me, as much as I love doing the Mayan chart readings, you do 1 or 2 and you're done for the day. Like, if you do something for 2 hours, now you have to rest for 8 hours, because obviously It's a lot, okay? It's a lot of energetic work. Every single one of the practices will also include materials. We're going to do a lot of fire ceremonies, which are very expensive for us to buy the materials because we're going to do big fire ceremonies and it has a cost. But anyways, we were trying to do the math for how much we can charge, which was difficult for us to come up with a price because we've never done a program like this before. So as you know, in the past where we've done private sessions, they were like between $300 and $400 each. Of course, as I said, we pay the spiritual leaders really well, have to buy the materials. And usually when we do private sessions with the spiritual leaders, they keep everything, you know? So basically, depending on the kind of session, is like $350, $400 each, but it's going to be 8 of these private sessions, right? So we thought, okay, that's valued at around 3,200. The 10 live group sessions, we did the math because we thought, okay, in the past many years ago, I don't know if anybody here is old enough in our community to remember when we used to do this, but we used to have once upon a time, many years ago, a ceremony that was like for 5-10 people. And we like, it was like very personalized, but it was like $150 each person who participated. And so that's like for the group sessions. And the support group sessions, we priced at $100 each is what we thought. The personalized support, we can't really put a price on that. So we just wrote price list because we don't know how to calculate the price of that. But as you know, it's going to be team members who are going to have to work on with you all the time. Like they have to be 100% available every single day for you. So we also have to price in how much we have to pay those team members and moderators for you. Not to mention is also like I'm translating every session. So there's several people working on every session, from organizing it, doing the actual work, the translation and everything. The herbal medicine sent to your home, we priced at more than $300 because Raquel said it's going to be expensive. But we averaged it at $300 because some people are going to need a shorter treatment. Some people are going to need a longer treatment. And at the end of the day, Raquel told us, just based on the average person, probably this is how much herbal medicine they're going to need to really heal their body. And the average is going to be around this. If it ends up costing us more, that's okay. We're not going to charge you more for that. Is included in the price as well. Like if someone needs a lot more herbal medicine than the rest of the group, that's also okay. We thought we'll just include it as well. So 300 plus, we said, because we were not 100, there's no specific price for that. And the spiritual kit, if you just look at the price of everything in our shop, that's included is $348. So when we did, not to mention, this whole thing includes a lot more things that we didn't even write down here, right? That are kind of like easy for us, but like are also like extra, you know, like the section, the community chats we're gonna organize, the moderating of the community chats, the certificate. We're gonna record a lot of meditations, write down a lot of exercises. So all of that is extra, but we didn't even include it in the price because we wanted to make it. I always like to make things as accessible as possible for everybody. So we thought, okay, 7,348, but we thought, okay, should we charge that? And my personal opinion, usually when it comes to these kinds of things, is, I don't know if you've noticed, but I try to make programs always as accessible as possible, always. So we decided to knock off a few $1,000s off of the final prices, what we thought everything is going to actually cost us, to discount it because of how many things they are. So the final price is $4,997, or if you break it down, is $250 per week. It's like 249 point something, but I just wrote $250 per week, or like $999 per month. So like $1,000 per month. Our logic when choosing the prices, we thought, we did some research and thought, okay, how much do people in first world countries pay for therapy weekly anyways, right? And can we match more or less that price, you know, of what people pay weekly for therapy anyways, but give them a lot more, make it a lot more holistic, and make it like way bigger and deeper than that. So we thought, yes, we did some research and people were paying between $200 and $300 for therapy, usually in the States, for example. And we thought, okay, let's price it at around the same price as people pay for that, but give them access to several healers, support groups, community, healing techniques, exercises, herbal medicine, spiritual tools, and all kinds of extra things, right? You can, that's the last slide, right? And I kind of forgot. Oh, no, that's not the last slide. Okay. So as I mentioned many times, it's going to be 13 people only. That's it. We're not opening up the space for any more people because 13 is a very specific number that I came up with for a reason. And also we can absolutely not handle one more person because this is organizationally for us a lot, you know, like whenever 13 people have a session on a week, I'll have to go to Tata Alberto's house and travel and do 13 sessions with him, like travel to him 13 times, you know, like do private sessions 13 times, translate. So I could not possibly do this for like 20 people or something. It would be crazy. We would die. It would be too much for us. So we thought this is what we can actually handle and be 100% sure we can deliver to 13 people the perfect service. So as I said, it's an application only acceptance process. Even if you want to join the program right now, you can't just join it. We're going to have to accept you. But the team is ready, you guys, okay? The team is ready. We've all decided to work only on this today. So if you apply, of course, you're gonna get an acceptance or a rejection very quickly, okay? We're gonna try to turn it around within hours for everybody. So like maybe 1 hour later or 2 hours later for the next 1 or 2 days, we're gonna be working fully on this. So apply quickly because of our acceptance system. Let me explain. Anne, you can stop the slide sharing thingy and I'll explain briefly before we close up the call. This is the last thing I have to say. Okay. We also had to come up with the how will the application process work. And it was like, we were not sure because it's a lot, you know. The thing is, we knew for a fact that this is going to fill up immediately because like it's the thing that everybody's been asking us for years. We've had hundreds and hundreds of requests of people. We've had so many people telling us like, whenever you do something like this, please write me first. Don't tell anybody, write me first. I'll immediately sign up, even if I don't know what it is. We have so many people always contacting us. So I know you guys, okay? This happened also with the retreats recently. They sold out in hours, you know, like we know for a fact that basically it's going to fill up basically immediately. So we were like, how can we make this fair? Okay, first, lucky you if you came to the live call because we're going to upload the recording, but it's going to take half an hour. So some people are only going to see this later, you know? So we thought, okay, we're going to immediately start going through the applications as they come in. And immediately we're going to decide yes or no for each person. And we're going to only send an acceptance letter to 13 people. We're going to give them very few time to get back to us and tell us yes or no. And then as soon as like in the first batch of 13, like if whatever, 8 people sign up immediately, then we have 5 spots left. So then we're going to accept the next 5 applications. You get the system. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So basically, my recommendation is if you're interested, apply now. Okay, apply now because first come, first serve. We wanted to make it fair for everybody and not have favorites or something. So we thought like we'll just check applications and approve or deny them as soon as they come in the exact order they come in to make it as fair as possible. Yeah, so basically that's it. Like that's the way to apply. And I know that, you know, people are going to be jumping on this immediately. So if you want to have a chance, right, if you're the 50th application, then even if we would accept you, I don't know if we're even going to get to that application in the first place. You know what I mean? So we're going to just do it first come, first serve. So hurry up, I guess, is my advice if you're interested. And save your spot soon. I don't know. I guess that's the best way to go if you're interested in this. So somebody post the link So Martin, there you go. Martin just posted the link in the chat to the website, okay? I do realize I forgot to say one thing in the website, so you guys are not gonna find it there, but I'm gonna say it now and we're gonna add it, which is that it does include the opportunity for the last ceremony to come to Guatemala in person. I just had the epiphany right now as I was speaking to you that I forgot to mention that on the website. But there you have the rest of the information, but now you know that that's still true. And for that last opportunity in the last ceremony, we're not going to include the hotels or anything like that because it's impossible for us to calculate, but we will include the transportation, just so you know, from like the meeting site to the ancient Maya site, just so you know. So just to be super clear on that point as well. And that's it. I made it so much longer than I wanted to, as always, but you guys know I'm incapable of speaking shortly. So it took 1 hour instead of my planned half an hour to 45 minutes, but you know me, that's the way I roll. Anyways, so I really hope to see some of you. I'm like crossing my fingers to work with some of you guys because I like there's so many of you in the community that I've seen for so long, like some of you have seen your faces in our programs for years at this point, and it would be so awesome to actually get to work with you one-on-one. It's going to be super exciting. Selfishly, it's also super exciting for me because I know I'm going to learn so much translating those sessions. You have no idea how cool it is. I also get to learn about herbal medicine and like the source of illnesses as I translate. It's so much fun for me. So I'm super excited too. So that's my selfish reason to do this. But anyways, apart from that, is going to be awesome. What I can tell you is that it will change your life. I'm 100% sure. I can actually promise you that. I've never been more sure of something in my life. Programs in general are awesome, but this one is next level. Like it's everything we're offering. You have no idea what the sessions actually look like, what this kind of work actually looks like, is what I always wanted to explain to you, but words never sufficed when I was trying to explain it. And to have 13 people actually come in and experience this is going to be amazing. It's going to change your life. I promise you that. So that's it. We're going to hop off the call now. Just so you know, Martin just posted the link in the chat again if you didn't catch it the first time. So click it now before we close the Zoom meeting. But of course, we're going to send you an email as soon as the recording downloads and re-uploads. We're going to upload the recording and we're going to send you the email to the recording if you want to rewatch some parts of it because you missed some information or whatever. Also for all the people who couldn't make it live because it's Thursday and a lot of people wrote they were sad because they had to work. So we decided to record it for that reason as well. But also, you know, the link in that the link will be included in the email as well to the website and everything. So we'll try to get that on the way to you as soon as possible. But before we hang up, grab the link right now before we hang up. It's in the chat just in case you missed it. Okay. See you soon. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys in March at the start of this program at the end of March. Gracias. Thank you so much for listening to me for 1 hour. Sorry about that. Besitos. Nice to see you guys. And I'll see you soon. And thank you so much. Bye. Love you. Los amo. Bye bye. Nice to see you. Bye.